Hello everyone, today I'm going to share an interesting story which piques your interest. In an eerie setting, where lifeless bodies lay strewn about, the protagonist finds himself enveloped in a sense of powerlessness that he had longed to escape. His hushed whispers echo through the desolation. As blood droplets trickle from his lips, a bitter truth becomes painfully evident. The promise of a different outcome that he had held dear has disintegrated, leaving him to ponder the inevitability of his current situation. In the depths of his despair, the memories of his past surge to the forefront of his consciousness. In a plaintive cry, he calls out for his mother, the words weighted with longing and sorrow. The echoes of those who had doubted him, dismissed his potential, now resonate in his mind. He can't help but concede that there may have been some truth to their disparaging remarks. A haunting realization engulfs him. His own self-assessment is brutally honest. He acknowledges his lack of innate talent, understanding that regardless of his unwavering dedication to training, his prospects remain limited. The highest rank he can hope to achieve, even with his life's devotion, is a mere B rank. As a shroud of gloom settles upon his thoughts, the weight of his limitations pushes him to the brink. His aspirations are modest, and reaching the exalted status of an S rank feels like an unattainable dream. Yet, a spark of resilience shines through the darkness. He recognizes the perceived idiocy of his tenacity, but in the face of such a dire and wretched predicament, he refuses to yield. His unwavering determination persists even in the most wretched circumstances. The air is heavy with desperation as he utters these chilling words, accepting the grim fate that awaits him in this unforgiving place. The very essence of hopelessness grips his being, and he knows he may not emerge from this nightmarish ordeal unscathed. A sharp pain pierces his consciousness, a stark reminder of his vulnerability. His arm, once a source of strength, now hangs limp and lifeless. But paradoxically it bears the scars of the battle, evidence of the critical blows he has inflicted on his relentless adversary. In this dire moment, there's a steely resolve in his eyes. Determined to make every remaining second count, he clutches the blade in his mouth, an improvised weapon born of sheer will. With a guttural cry that defies the agony coursing through his body, he lunges forward, thrusting the blade deep into the very heart of the grotesque creature responsible for his anguish, the one that had taken his mother from him. As the final, decisive blow lands, he can't help but summon the last reserves of his strength to utter words that are both a testament to his determination and a farewell to the world. "This is the last one," he declares with a hint of mania in his voice. The battle-weary hero collapses to the ground, a twisted grin on his face, laughter spilling from his lips even as he lays in a pool of his own blood, the price of his unyielding spirit. In this moment of seeming defeat, his laughter is a defiant cry of triumph against the cruel hand fate has dealt him. A hollow laughter echoes through the grim battlefield, as the battered hero lies there, seemingly at the mercy of fate. The weight of the world bears down on him, but he continues to defy despair. In a brief shift, the story unfolds to a time before the confrontation, where a leader addresses a group of individuals. His words are heavy with urgency and caution, conveying the peril they are about to face. He mentions the recent news, the chilling reports of a humanoid monster capable of turning humans into mummies, siphoning away their very life force. The dread this creature brings to the world is palpable, with whispers of similar incidents reverberating through the community. As the leader addresses the gathering, his concern sharpens when he gazes at a figure among them, a person named Suho. There's a heavy silence as all eyes turn towards this individual, and it's evident that they bear a significant burden in the impending struggle. Suho, the focus of the leader's attention, acknowledges his words with a quiet but resolute "Yes, sir," in a disbelief. The team leader's voice cuts through the air, addressing Suho, the B-rank hunter among the group, with a mix of concern and irony. He questions Suho's reaction, ensuring that his previous comments didn't offend him. The team leader's priority is clear: it's about offending Suho, as Suho is the sole B-rank hunter present while everyone is above B-rank. He mentions Suho's past, alluding to his impressive academic achievements, notably being the top scorer in an elite academy in their country. The leader's words are laced with a certain sarcasm as he ironically emphasizes how honored they are to have such a brilliant individual accompanying them into the daunting dungeon. The leader seeks the consensus of the group, but it's evident that his words are meant to needle Suho more than anything. In the midst of it all, Suho's thoughts betray his inner turmoil, questioning how he ended up in this particular situation, reflecting the stark contrast between his past academic brilliance and his current perilous journey. Amidst the flickering memories of a triumphant past, the memory of Suho's remarkable academic achievement stands out. As the top scorer, he received applause and recognition from all around. The applause echoed the name, Suho, the top cadet, resounding in the room. However, his thoughts betray a sense of naivety, believing he was talented, capable of avenging his parents and achieving even more. Regardless of how hard he toiled, he felt restrained, as if an invisible boundary confined his potential. Suho's rank, a mere 26, speaks to his current status, a stark contrast to his previous achievements. His thoughts reveal a sense of resignation, an acceptance of his limitations in the harsh reality of the present moment. The team leader's call to action jolts Suho back to the present, urging him to get moving. Meanwhile, a fellow team member interjects with a sarcastic remark, diminishing Suho's prior brilliance. Suho's thoughts, however, reflect a deeper inner turmoil, raising existential questions about his relentless pursuit of dungeon clearing despite his recognized limits and the condescension of others. His desire for revenge and unwavering determination to defy his own limitations become the driving forces behind his continued journey, even when it seems to mean nothing. These poignant reflections encapsulate Suho's complex character and his underlying motivations, setting the stage for the challenges that await him in the unpredictable world of hunters and dungeons. The team leader's commanding voice pierces the tension, signaling the start of their perilous journey into the unknown. Suho's thoughts betray a sense of resignation, acknowledging the label of stubbornness that's been assigned to him. But as the group steps through the gate, what they encounter is anything but ordinary. It's not just a gate, it's a mutated gate, a harbinger of unforeseen horrors. Amid the chaos that unfolds within, Suho's teammates suffer agonizing fates. Their pained moans and desperate cries for help echo through the blood-splattered scene. The relentless carnage is a stark reminder of the minuscule odds of encountering such a disaster, a catastrophe beyond their control. In this dire moment, Suho's thoughts reveal a chilling realization. The disaster that now threatens their lives bears eerie similarities to the one that claimed his mother a decade ago. His determination to confront this malevolent force takes shape as he clutches his sword, fueled by an unshakable resolve. The confrontation begins, and Suho's resolute words resound. Bring it on. It's a declaration that transcends mere bravery. It's a vow to confront his past, to overcome his limitations, and to protect those he holds dear. The stage is set for a battle of survival, where Suho's indomitable spirit will be tested against an age-old nemesis. At this point, the action zooms in on Suho, who lies broken on the drenched battlefield. The giant adversary lies lifeless beside him. Suho has accomplished his task, but as the specter of death draws nearer, questions and doubts begin to torment him. What was the point of it all? Even if he were to exact his revenge, it wouldn't bring his parents back. He becomes acutely aware that this is not what he truly desired. He wishes he had been more capable back then. An unsettling atmosphere envelopes Suho. In the very moment when his last crimson tear trickles down his cheek, strange, forbidding voices reverberate from its depths. Is this someone who descended from him? Suho's heart pounds with unease, realizing that he's not happy about it. but there's nothing he can do to change it. Then, suddenly, Suho gasps as he is abruptly engulfed by a mysterious power. His wounds heal, and his severely damaged body began to regain its vigor. Suho's eyes snapped open, and he struggled to his feet, feeling disoriented and dazed. He couldn't discern where he was or whether he had crossed over into the realm of the dead. There was life in the air, but its source was unclear. Nevertheless, the aura surrounding him pulsed with the power of ages past. Suho was in awe, for he had never experienced the sensation of genuine power surging through his veins. The mysterious voices that had spoken to him presented an opportunity, a chance to achieve the strength he had always yearned for but had been unable to attain. He envisioned a future where he could provide safety for others, rather than being a source of disappointment. A looming figure materialized in front of Suho. This spectral figure possessed silver hair cascading over ancient robes. Suho blinked in astonishment as the apparition approached him. He struggled to make sense of everything, overwhelmed by the presence of this enigmatic figure with piercing green eyes. "You're not dead yet," the apparition replied in a calm manner. Suho, still struggling to comprehend, managed to stammer, Who are you?" The being's eyes contracted with irritation as he responded. "Insolent fool! You don't recognize me?" With a hint of pride, he continued, "I am the heavenly demon." Suho's jaw dropped in sheer shock. The heavenly demon was a fictional character, a legend and myth of the most powerful being, widely regarded as a fantastical creation. It seemed inconceivable that the being standing before him was the real deal. "I don't understand," Suho remarked. "You claim to be my ancestor, and that's completely ludicrous. If it weren't for the grace of God." The figure abruptly gripped Suho's chin with terrifying speed, lifting his head to reveal a menacing smile. Suho's face was forced upward, and the figure purred. "Yes, it must be difficult for your feeble mind to comprehend. Although in your world I am a legendary figure, I can promise you that I am very much real, and there is no mistaking the fact that you are my offspring." The thoughts inside Suho's head were swirling in confusion. After vanquishing the beast, he had a vivid memory of his final moments. He wondered if it made any sense or if it was merely a delirious fantasy that had crept into his mind during his last moments before passing away. The self-proclaimed heavenly demon continued speaking, seemingly able to read Suho's thoughts like a mind reader. "Yes, I have rummaged through your past experiences. I'm aware that you've regarded me as fiction. But now you're confronted with the holy truth," the being declared. His eyes lit up in an instant. "You're on the precipice of death, and I've decided to step in, giving you another opportunity to redeem yourself. With the help of my lineage, you can finally achieve the power you've always desired." Suho, wary yet intrigued, contemplated his next words. Perhaps this was the chance he needed to push beyond his limits and become stronger, both to defend those around him and to protect himself. Did he have the courage to put his faith in his enigmatic ancestor? "And undergo rebirth," the heavenly demon remarked with disdain. "Snapping my fingers would be sufficient to gaze into the target's thoughts." Suho recoiled in fear as he observed the malevolent aura surrounding this being. He couldn't bring himself to believe any of this, even though the overwhelming force emanating from the figure who claimed to be his ancestor was undeniable. "Why did you bring me here?" Suho asked with concern. The demon chuckled, a sinister sound that sent shivers down Suho's spine. "Worm, you should not flatter yourself. To me, you are completely without value," the demon sneered. "I have come here in search of my adversary, the blood demon. He is the pain in my side that I need to get rid of." Suho noticed that the demon's body was transparent, like that of a ghost. In a fit of rage, the being clenched his teeth, saying, "Were it not for the blood demon, I would not be reduced to this humiliating state." The demon continued to speak aloud as he mused. It's true that being transformed into a spirit by Providence is a source of frustration. It is difficult to find the blood demon because he does not have a corporeal body. Then, the demon shifted his attention to Suho while wearing a twisted smile. But you, as my descendant, your body could be useful. Yes, transfer your flesh to me so that I may exact my revenge at last. Suho jerked back in disbelief. This ancient being desired to take control of his body? To make him an instrument in some kind of vendetta? The information was overwhelming for Suho's brain, and he struggled to make sense of it all. He screamed, "Wait! You can't just take my body!" But as he did so, the demon hissed, "Quite the contrary. Your mission in life is to be of service to me. With your form, I will finally defeat the blood demon." His grin suddenly became icy. "Of course, the procedure will utterly wipe out your soul, but just think of the respect that comes with making the sacrifice for your illustrious ancestor." Suho's mind was racing as he desperately sought a way to escape the dire situation. This evil creature had pulled him back from the brink of death, only to reveal its sinister plan to erase him from existence. His thoughts whirled as he searched for a way out of this terrible nightmare. The heavenly demon stated, "You should feel honored to assist in my return within your body." He continued to explain, but the shock on Suho's face was unmistakable. "Would you like my body? Are you out of your mind?" As the demon strained his aura, an overwhelming and crushing pressure shot through Suho's spine, causing him to yell out, "Mind your tongue, you worm! You've no choice in this!" However, Suho didn't back down in the face of this incapacitating force. Despite the ominous energy coursing over his palms, he didn't succumb to fear. For some unknown reason, the might of the demon couldn't completely enslave him. When Suho observed the shock on the demon's face, he began to realize that things weren't unfolding as the demon had planned. His growing advantage bolstered his self-assurance. The demon scrutinized him carefully, his narrowed eyes betraying his inner turmoil. The demon found that this descendant proved to be a more formidable challenge than he had anticipated. Memories of an ancient oath he had taken resurfaced. He had sworn long ago never to let harm come to anyone who shared the same blood as the person he had sworn that oath to. This vow caused the demon to hesitate, even though he desperately needed a physical form. It would be morally wrong for him to take over the body of this specific descendant. Suho seized this moment to exert his newfound leverage, stating, "I will not voluntarily give up control of my body. You will have no choice but to use coercion to take away my soul." He gambled that the demon's honor and word would make it challenging for him to forcibly take his soul. The demon remained silent, wrestling with his inner conflict. Suho's soul was proving to be remarkably strong for that of a mortal, making it difficult to destroy. The demon recognized that forcing the soul from Suho's body could take time, which was something he didn't have. He would have to resort to physical violence to kill Suho if the latter didn't voluntarily surrender control of his body. Suho firmly maintained his stance, hoping that the demon's commitment to his word would prevent him from forcibly taking his soul. After a prolonged period of contemplation, the demon finally relented. He was infuriated by this outcome but realized he needed Suho's assistance rather than outright subjugation. He offered Suho a proposition. "Assist me willingly, and you will be rewarded with power beyond your dreams." Suho was torn and contemplated the risks and benefits of forming an alliance with this perilous entity. He was well aware of the dangers involved, but was it any worse than being obliterated entirely? This opportunity might be his long-awaited chance to attain the strength that had eluded him for so long. With a degree of skepticism, Suho expressed his doubt. Although the alliance was fraught with peril, it seemed preferable to annihilation. Moreover, it held the potential to grant him the strength he had long desired but never achieved. The demon observed the anguish that Suho was experiencing but continued with his persuasive argument. He addressed Suho by his name, emphasizing the importance of the opportunity he was presenting. However, Suho remained resolute in his response, rejecting whatever offer the demon had. The demon then pressed further, targeting Suho's inner pain. He pointed out that Suho had lost his family due to his perceived weakness and inability to protect them. These words struck Suho like a dagger, reopening the wounds of guilt and sorrow he carried. The demon's cruelty became increasingly evident as he voiced his dark intentions out loud. In response to the relentless mental intrusion, Suho's anger boiled over, and he yelled at the demon to stop violating his mind, threatening to kill him. The demon's mocking chuckle filled the air, dismissing Suho's anger and describing emotions like rage and revenge as pitiful and limiting. It highlighted Suho's previous attempts to exceed his capabilities, which had ultimately failed. Suho felt a shiver down his spine as he realized the harsh truth in the demon's words. In response, Suho shouted at the demon to stop the relentless mental assault and leave his mind alone, or else he would face consequences. The demon paused in his attack and chose to be more straightforward in his explanation. He offered to help Suho go beyond his current limitations. Suho's cautious expression betrayed his wariness. He questioned the demon, seeking clarification on what it meant. The demon proceeded to explain that the training methods of Suho's world had failed him and that, as a descendant of the demon, he needed the powerful martial arts of the Murim world, specifically the demon's own heavenly demon arts. As Suho listened to the demon's offer, his fury subsided, and he began to consider the possibilities. Could he truly attain such incredible strength? His interest peaked as he contemplated the potential benefits of acquiring this power. The demon continued to explain that even someone with minimal talent could become significantly more powerful by following its teachings. It even hinted that Suho possessed talent comparable to its own. Suho's mind was filled with conflicting thoughts, the desire for power to protect others versus the suspicion of the demon's motives. Despite his curiosity and desire for strength, he was resolute in not surrendering his body to the demon. The demon sighed, seemingly exasperated, and clarified that it wasn't suggesting ownership but rather a mutual trade. It proposed teaching Suho the skills of the heavenly demon in exchange for Suho's assistance in regaining its physical form. It extended a spectral handshake gesture, emphasizing that no formal contracts or oaths were necessary. Suho hesitated, torn between the tempting offer and the potential dangers it posed. The demon appeared genuinely interested in cooperation, signaling a possible shift in its intentions. Despite his initial reluctance, Suho couldn't deny the intense yearning to break free from the constraints that had bound him throughout his life. This was a chance to obtain the power he had always sought. While he proceeded with caution, he couldn't help but hope that this might be the opportunity he had spent his entire life searching for. As Suho scowled, displaying his ongoing reluctance to trust the crafty demon, the promise of unimaginable power remained a significant temptation. The demon recognized Suho's inner conflict and continued to make his case. He explained that the trial was a mutually beneficial proposition, succeed, and Suho would receive instruction in the highest heavenly demon arts. But should he fail, the demon would take his body. Suho couldn't help but feel that this arrangement wasn't entirely fair. The demon could easily manipulate the trial to his advantage. However, a cunning idea began to take root in Suho's mind. What if this was his last opportunity to attain the strength he had always desired? Perhaps he needed the courage to risk everything for the chance to achieve his objectives with the help of the heavenly demon's arts. As the demon made a spectral gesture to signify their agreement, Suho was at a crossroads, faced with a monumental decision. In this moment of doubt and uncertainty, Suho found himself torn between his desire for power and the fear of the consequences. The allure of finally surpassing his limitations won him over, pushing him to change his mind and give it a shot, no matter the risks. As he reached out and grasped the demon's spectral hand, he couldn't help but feel a sense of trepidation. The demon, with a sinister grin, assured Suho. "You are correct. After all, my reputation is on the line." He chuckled. "Do you think someone who has conquered death would crave mere energy so strongly?" Suho, now resolved to face the trial, demanded to know what the trial entailed. The demon wasted no time and explained. "The first step is to abandon your despair." As he uttered these words, Suho was suddenly enveloped by forces that were a turbulent mix of red and black. He cried out as the overwhelming pressure threatened to crush not only his body but his very thoughts into dust. Amidst this chaos, Suho found himself transported to a nightmarish realm, a place of imprisonment beyond his imagination. He screamed in bewilderment and discomfort, feeling utterly helpless at the demon's whim. In this eerie and surreal landscape, his reality began to shift. Suho was abruptly thrust back into a traumatic nightmare, one that had haunted him for years. It was the horrifying death of his mother, an event he had been unable to forget. The scenes played out before him as he relived the tragic moments of his childhood, hearing the terrified cries of his younger self. His beloved mother, her face filled with anguish, softly pleaded with him to hide and stay safe. Tears streamed down her face as the weight of despair hung in the air. Suho, trapped within this nightmarish ordeal, realized with dread that he was about to witness the tragic events once more, as he had in the past. So what's your thoughts on this manhwa? Will Suho be able to succeed in his vengeance? Comment down below. See you in the next episode.